If you struggle to like who you are, then this will interest you, and why learning to like you could be the most important thing that you do this year, and how that will create a ripple effect and change everything for the better in your life. Just a minute. Hi, I'm Will Perry, and I help make the complex psychological concepts simple. But it's more than understanding. We need to put them into action. It's so important. Most people miss that. I'm not clinically trained, but I've been an executive coach since 2001. I worked at the BBC there, and I was head of action learning, which is a group coaching process, which I love. But for the last 13 years, I've been focused on this one thing. Why do we get stuck so much, and what's it got to do with that shadow side? So how I help people, literally one-to-one, 90-day program, which is awesome. One to a few on the action learning groups, or one to many on the online program. But there's so much here for free. A free program, free content. Find out more, get involved. Links are around here, subscribe. But here is the video of the day. And that's me, the video of the day. So why is learning to love you the most important thing that you could do this year? If you don't like you, you're never going to be the leader, your own leader, and you're never going to live your life in the way that you want to live it. You'll always be, well, struggling. So this is hopefully really an obvious and clear image. You know, if this is going on, not necessarily what you look like, your shape, but kind of everything, the holistic aspect. If you don't like you, your thoughts, your everything about you, it all links. If you find yourself being that person that looks in the mirror and doesn't like yourself, that's no way to live. In terms of money, it's going to impact on the money side, the money aspect for yourself. How you put yourself forward, how you, if you're in business, how you build your own business, how you feel comfortable to push yourself, to ask, to challenge, to make a stand, to stand in your own power. That's going to be uncomfortable if you don't even like you. All right, it's going to be difficult as a parent. If you're a parent, it's going to be difficult in that respect to say that, you know, these are positive values and qualities about oneself if you don't believe them yourself. You might believe them about other people, but when you really, you look in the mirror and you think, oh, if you're undermining yourself, that will come across to your kids. So you will be unable to teach your kids healthy self-esteem, to stand in their power, if you can't do it yourself. And I'm sure that makes sense. In terms of relationships, this is where I started in terms of why do we sometimes attract negative, or the patterns of negative emotions towards ourselves in relationships. Why are we so sensitive towards negative emotions, both those from other people, but also ourselves, our own negative emotions in our heads, our negative thoughts in our heads. So we attract a certain type of maybe controlling relationship where we give away our power. Why do we do that, Well, if you don't even like yourself, what are you going to do? You're going to give away the responsibility to other people. You're going to give away your power. You're not going to be comfortable standing in your power. And this one's meant to be health. So in terms of health, you're not going to put yourself first. You're not going to do the discipline that, if you don't like yourself, you're just going to push these things away. You won't be your own leader. Does this make sense? Okay, does this make sense? You can't be your own leader if you don't like who you see in the mirror. If you don't like the boss, you're never gonna. So you are your own boss. That's why I say leader, and it comes up a lot in the client work that I do. That to stand in your own power, it's kind of about being your own leader. However, if you don't like yourself, you're never going to be able to live your life as you. And that's no way to live your life, But in terms of solving it, it is, like I said in the video yesterday, if you the last video, if you saw that, it's really complex. Changing and understanding who you are is really complex, and that's why we can get stuck so often. That's why we get this feeling of stuckness, or that something's wrong, or that something's missing, because it's so complex to sort out. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but it certainly is worth it. And there are key elements, key kind of stepping stones that you need to hit, I feel that you need to hit in order to move forward and untangle this mess that is yourself and your own understanding. Because if you don't like yourself, it's not, you might believe that there's something wrong, or that there's a fault, or there's something missing, or that you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or that you're useless, or whatever it is. But that's false. It's not true. But that might be really difficult to understand because you've got lots of evidence and a lifetime's worth of evidence to say no, it is true. That is me. I am wrong, broken, not good enough. And you've got tons and tons of evidence. Because guess where the evidence comes from? The evidence will be here in your money. The evidence will be here in your relationship. The evidence will be here in your relationships. The evidence will be here in your health. Does that make sense? Because it all comes from who you are as a leader. That's how you see yourself. That's it. But it's really blimmin' complex to make sense and clear out. So there are certain points that I feel people need to go through to make sense of this, to get through. And there's tons of options out there in the world. You can go and find them, but not many for me cover this stuff of this sensitivity to negative emotions, this self-esteem. But self-esteem could be misconstrued and isn't real anyway. But it can't reliably measure self-esteem. So it's kind of this funny thing that we kind of understand, but we can't quite put our finger on. But it's a real mess, and we need to understand it, and it makes us stuck. So we need to, that's the bit that we work on. That's the bit that we need to solve. So I'm doing a pathway I'm re-recording all the content for my pathway, and it's an opportunity to get involved now with the beta as I do that. So the content's not there at the minute, but I'm refining what I did 3 years ago, and updating it from the person I am now rather than the person I was 3 years ago. And particularly the things I've learned in the last year, taking my clients through these stepping stones that I think, ding, 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 that we need to go through, and some of them have come out through just that last year. Some of them have come out in the last 6 months, which is really interesting. So a question to you, if this is interesting to you, I'd love you to come back to me with, obviously nobody can join, you can't just join with, give me a link, Will, I'm going to sign up. No, you've got to have a conversation with me first to see whether there's a good fit, a good match between us both, to see whether you're in a position to do that, you're ready to do that, you're willing to do the work, and we have a good enough understanding of each other that we could work well together. So we'd have to have that conversation first. But I'd love to know this one. Your answer to this. What guarantee would work for you? So if I was going to, because it's a risk, isn't it? It's like you're investing in you, and what you've had before is this tangle of crap and not understanding. And I'm saying, okay, let's go through and unstick it with this. My question to you, understanding that you might be hesitant, you might be reluctant, oh wait, if he's only just doing it now. It's not that I'm redoing the content. It's not that I'm just starting to fathom out. I'll have a go, I'll have an idea, I'll have a stab. It's not that. I've proven it to myself over the last year, and I'm going to update it, which is a cool and exciting thing to do for me. But also might be interesting for you to get involved in, because it's cheaper as well, so that's a special offer bit. What guarantee, just off the top of your head now, what guarantee would oh yeah, if you do that, Will, I'm in, I'm interested. What guarantee would really work for you? I'm interested in that. There we go. That didn't work for a bit. What guarantee could I put in place that for you would give you peace of mind to jump in? Again, I'm not wanting everybody in. This won't suit everybody, but if we got to tick all the boxes, what guarantee would work for you? And if that fits, then the answer is, for me, come and join the beta, but come and have a conversation first. So contact me. So I hope that's interesting. In terms of untangling that mess of our own understanding that has us not liking who we are, is no way to live. So my invitation to you is to come and be part of or find out about being part of the beta, or beta, as the Americans love to say, which I love, and how it can work for you, and learn to love who you are, because I think that's a wonderful thing to be, and that changes everything. That has ripple effects for everybody in your life, especially the kids, and that's a really, really important one. All right, many thanks. Have an awesome rest of the day. Bye-bye.